Hello and welcome to Europhoria, a podcast where we look back on the great glam and garish of Eurovision past. My name's Isobel Chilman, and as ever, I'm joined by the man single-handedly flying the flag for Eurovision in the US of A. It's Roland Bodnam.
Yay! Hi everyone. Hi Isobel. How you doing, mate?
Hi, I'm good, thanks, love.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been
a while.
An extra week, isn't it? Well, you've been jet setting across the United States of America, haven't you?
No, and we were behind the scenes. Spoiler for listeners: we were going to record an episode whilst we were on a much closer time difference, but I forgot to pack my microphone. So sorry, guys, we missed a week, but that's fine.
We're back.
It happens.
We're back.
Accidents
we're
happen,
back.
you know.
Yeah.
Have you got some booze with you, mate?
Well, so we're doing this again behind the scenes. We are slightly earlier than normal. I don't know why I suggested this time. And I was going to go to
9 a.m.
It's no, because we're on a 4-hour time difference. Because
okay,
for some
that's
reason
10. That's fine.
Yeah. So I was going to go to the local liquor store, but it's Sunday. It's God's day and all that. So I don't think they're open. So instead, I did get myself a lovely cup of iced Americano. So can you hear that little there? That's my iced Americano. So that's my contribution. It's still something. It's caffeine. It's
now you've said liquor. I really want a Bloody Mary, but I don't have the ingredients.
Just mash up a tomato and then put vodka on it and then drink it.
Oh, do you think that'd work?
Absolutely not.
I do, however, have a bottle of Nerello Marcalesi, a Sicilian rosé.
Wow, good for you, mate.
Oh, I just pulled the cork out by accident.
Oh, I was talking over it. I'm so sorry.
I didn't do it. I did it. It was like an accidental.
Oh dear.
But have a listen to this.
Yeah, glug away. Ooh, nice.
Oh, it smells fruity.
Ooh. Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, love.
Should we do some?
Eurovision news.
There's loads of news. We're not going to do it all.
Listen to another podcast if you want news. There's loads of it.
All of the Eurovision songs have now been released, which is very exciting because we have, if you've listened to all of them, that means you've heard the winner of Eurovision 2019.
Oh my goodness, I never even thought about it that way.
Yeah. It's been released already. We just don't know which one it is.
Have you listened to all of them?
I have listened to the vast majority. Some of them still haven't been released on Spotify.
I haven't. I've only listened to a few. I need to catch up.
Well, that's okay. We've not got our song review episode for another month at least. So
great. I won't listen to them for another 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. But I will say, updating on my last very early and slightly premature announcement of my favourite, that song is now maybe 5th or 6th in my list of favourites.
Okay.
The Lake Malawi, Friend of a Friend. Still a little bop. Listening to the lyrics, slightly less okay than I was adamantly saying.
The Czech Republic have a problem with making slightly creepy songs about women.
Yeah.
But it was funny. Someone tweeted us. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was now.
It was Lynn.
Lynn, that's it. Lynn tweeted saying that's the reason why Roland likes it so much is because he could have quite easily have written that as one of his songs. And she's great. You could have made that.
What can I say? I like being aspirational, and I like having achievable goals, and so liking that is probably that reason.
But I agree with Lynn there, which means that all the times I've said before, I have said this previously, that your songs, there are legitimately songs of yours that could be in Eurovision.
Yeah.
And I think that is the case. There are legitimately, I would say maybe out of all the songs you've done, 6 that, not saying would win,
no,
but would 100% get through to Eurovision, get through your national selection, and most likely get through the semi-finals.
Wow, mate, that's so exciting to hear.
You've got mad skills.
If we're considering these as the demos, and then we just need to attach like a fabulous singer to them.
Which is what we've said. It wouldn't be you going to Eurovision.
Well, I'd go as...
You'd go as the songwriter.
We'd both go as songwriters, yeah.
We'd both go as songwriters because I contribute so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we got to move on, haven't we? Because we've got plenty to be doing here. We got some any other business, didn't we?
Any other business? Yes, we have loads of emails. Thank you so much to everyone who gets in touch with us on Twitter and via email. Absolute mega babes. We've got loads, so I'm going to absolutely slam through them.
Yes.
Okay, so we're starting with an email from, I believe, a first-time emailer, Josh. Josh says, "Happy birthday, Roland, and greetings to you both from Austin, Texas."
Hey,
I
cool.
love Austin.
Yeah, what a cool place.
What a cool place. I went there, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
For a few days during a cold snap, which wasn't the most fun. But Austin is full of the nicest, sweetest angels you've ever met. I had so much fun. Went to a comedy night, went to some drag. Oh my God, I'm desperate to go back when it's actually hot.
Yeah. We've got some cool listeners, haven't we?
So many cool listeners. Actually, Josh, next time I come to Austin, please take me out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Josh says, "I'm a big fan of Eurovision and throw a Eurovision party every year to my confused Texan friends who have never heard of it." Good for you, Josh.
Yes.
He says, "Glad to hear the podcast is back. This year I've been taking y'all's advice." So
wow,
cool.
So Texan.
Y'all's advice. And listening to the regional finals of different countries. And that is indeed where the weirdest stuff is.
Yeah, yes.
I'm super bummed that this batshit entry for Ukraine's finals didn't make it in this year. So Josh has sent us a link, which I have. I've started at a certain time, Roland. So I'm going to send this to you. Don't click on it yet.
Okay, I won't.
So, have you listened to this Ukrainian song, Roland?
Not this one, no.
Right, this is top-notch insanity.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you so much for sending this, Josh. This had completely slipped past me.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a little listen to the song "Hate" by self-described social rave band. I think it's pronounced Sesho. T-S-E-S-H-O in English, Sesho. So for those of you who haven't seen the performance, Google it now and you can watch along. If you can't Google it right now, I'll just let you know that the beginning of this song is sung by a creepy puppet. Okay?
Okay, all right.
So let's have a little watch.
Cinema, D, Daddy, E, Europe, F, family, H, hate, 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 hate. I hate you.
Oh my God.
Right.
You know what? That just reminds me of like going to some off West End or off Broadway arts performance piece where they just yell things for an hour and make you feel bad about getting coffees and stuff.
Yeah. Weirdly, the main thing I took from that when I first watched it was they miss out the letter G.
Maybe they don't have G. Maybe
In
they.
Ukrainian.
I mean, A B C D E F G H. Yeah, you're right to get to H.
They go A B C D E F. Hate.
It's not worth hanging around
Don't
for
know how
G.
to
when
spell, mate.
hate's
I
just
think that's
next
why they
door.
didn't get through. Don't know the alphabet.
Yeah, technically not correct. I mean, well, we didn't say it in the news, but no one in Ukraine have got through because of the whole bloody. They've basically shot themselves in the foot, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
They said that no one who's been in Russia or performing in Russia currently can play, and now that no one wants to perform, so maybe they should have gone back to these guys. Done hate.
God. I hope this
God,
does get through.
it's
very weird.
That is exactly why we love the
That's
regional
exactly why we
finals,
love
though,
them,
the
yes.
national finals, because that creepy puppet at the start. Good heavens.
Hey, apple. I had night terror 2 nights ago, and I genuinely think it's because I watched that. Genuinely did. So Josh also says in his email, P.S. Hemispheres, which was Roland's song from last week's episode, gets 2 points from me, assuming it's a female singer.
Yes, we had this discussion.
Yes, which I think is now wide consensus. I've had this from 2 other people that I've had this discussion with as well, who listen to the podcast. We've all agreed female singer that would absolutely smash it at Eurovision.
Yeah, dang. All right, well, that's going in the list of my highlights then.
Yeah, great. Okay, next up we have another newbie emailer,
Wow.
David, who says, Isobel and Roland, I've been putting off starting to listen to Euphoria for a little while.
Why?
Why?
Why would you put it off?
Why, David? What are you on about? How odd.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? But with a 12-hour middle seat flight from Mexico City red eye ahead of me, ooh, grim.
Perfect time for
I
12
thought
hours
I'd
of us.
give it a go. I woke up my two neighbours repeatedly with snorts of laughter. Great!
That's exactly what we'd want to achieve here.
Yeah, like as I said before, what was when we had the previous email? My aim with this is to make school children
Wet themselves
with excitement.
Yeah.
And neighbours you don't know on planes, very long planes and uncomfortable plane rides, get really pissed off. Yeah. I want to
Pissing people
anger
off with laughter.
strangers and make children wet themselves.
All coming from a positive place, though. So,
Oh,
you know.
such positivity and love. Yeah.
That's a very good aspiration.
David says, the show seems to share my passion for what I feel makes Eurovision great. The stories behind the contest.
Yeah. We don't do news, we do stories.
No, we're terrible at news. We don't do this regularly enough to get the news right.
No.
Worked that one out quite early on.
Yeah.
I look forward to the many episodes ahead, on episode 5 right now, and the inevitable story of the saga/struggle of Valentina Monetta.
Oh, God.
Which, David, you will be very excited about because Valentina does get discussed in great detail.
Yeah.
I think quite a few times, actually.
And I think the word saga is very much appropriate for that whole thing.
Valentina. Bless him.
Oh.
He says, keep up the great work, David. Thanks,
David. Thank you.
Absolute
It's always
babe.
lovely to hear new listeners.
Our next email does not come from a new one, but from a dear old friend of ours, Roland. Who do you think it is?
From
Your side of the world?
Ooh, close by. Well, there's only one person who I know is pretty close by. Is it Chance from Brooklyn?
It is Chance from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Hey, Chance.
Chance says, babies, I have forgotten to write and welcome you back twice now, and I'm full of deep shame.
No shame here. No shame.
I am so thrilled that you have returned to my ears. I look forward to this season of stories and songs. Roland, festival fun is still a nightmare. Don't listen to Isobel.
I think it has potential at least. It's
unforgettable.
Yeah, it invokes a reaction, and that's what we want here. That's all we're doing.
Precisely, like
We're
the Daily
invoking
Mail. Anyway, welcome back. You have been deeply missed by all of us. Roland, you have an open invitation to the viewing party I host at a gay bar in the West Village. You too, Isobel, if you happen to be in the colonies.
Wow.
Chance from Brooklyn.
Wow, thanks, Chance. I am actually going to be hosting my own because of the terrible shame on me not being watching Eurovision live last year.
Are you making all Caroline's mates watch it with you this year?
I am making all of my girlfriend's mates and a couple of colleagues from work come to my apartment and watch the 4-hour long Eurovision show.
Amazing.
With most of them probably not knowing what's going on. But I sent out the invite yesterday. It's officially happening. And so I'm very excited. Thank you for the invite, Chance. But I will be doing my part in spreading the Eurovision love
mate.
in America.
Good
So, yes, thank you for the invite, though, Chance. Lovely to hear from you.
Okay, another email. Final one for now. Hi, Isobel and Roland. Zach from Chicago here again.
Hey, Zach.
And then he puts in brackets, sorry, North America, capital.
We've done a
letters,
lot of North
mark.
America, haven't we?
I
Free
know,
from North
we're
America.
slaying it over there.
We're doing better than Robbie Williams ever did breaking America.
Yes, we are. We will continue to do so. Yeah, keep spreading the podcast, North Americans. Make us rich.
Do it.
Or
Is that
just
what
make us
happens?
make any money from this.
Yeah, any whatsoever.
Would be good. Just wanted to make sure you were both aware that podcast favourite Daz Sampson valiantly attempted to return to the Eurovision stage again this year, flying the red, green and red and white checkered flag for Belarus.
Yes.
Sadly, not even the Belarusian broadcaster could find a use for the world's most notorious singer-songwriter turned football manager.
Oh.
So I did indeed know Daz had attempted to come back, but I actually watched the performance until a few days ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It's quite something, isn't it?
Oh wow. Should we have a little watch, Roland?
Bam, bam, thank you, man. It's a hashtag KB Instagram. Now you're live and you're always trending. Baby, do your thing, will be never ending. Strike out with your sexy butt. We can left, right, strike.
Like a player on a pitch, I'm a sexy bitch. I like to strut myself for you. I give you more sluts off the floor, and there ain't nothing you can do. This crazy bitch, she ain't no witch. Don't need no fancy suit, 'cause sexy ass is bent side to side in my kinky boots.
Kinky boots, yo.
I like it when I wear my kinky boots.
Kinky boots.
They shine.
Somehow, so this is if you don't know, that was Daz Sampson and Nonna with Kinky Boots.
Yes.
Somehow Nonna is worse than Daz.
It's really. I haven't actually seen that live performance. I saw the music video that they released when it came out.
Oh, I haven't seen the music video
which
yet.
Which is amazing because it's basically her in front of a green screen, and then they've just taken all of the footage from Daz's previous Eurovision performance and cut it to make it look like he's rapping that on the music video.
No.
Yeah, and like obviously illegally, they haven't got permission to use the footage. But
Oh my God.
yeah, it's quite something. But that was
Okay.
their live performance, which
yeah,
was
and it is incredible. If you watch it to the end, they finish, and you can hear in the background maybe 2 or 3 people applauding.
just like a
Just
smattering of
silence.
applause.
Just
Wow.
silence. I'm kind of obsessed with it though. I'm watching it on a daily basis at the moment.
What country was that trying to get in? Through?
Belarus.
Okay, yeah. Well, they didn't, sadly. But it's good to see Daz back behind the microphone, isn't it?
Lovely to see him back. Obviously, if you're a new listener, we do rip on Daz quite a bit, but it's all in love and jest. All in love and jest. Eurovision wouldn't be the same without people like Daz. You need him.
And he's a big Eurovision fan, isn't he? He loves it.
You need him. Okay, right, that's all the emails for now. Thank you so much, everyone that has got in touch. If you would like to send us an email, you can contact us at euphoriapodcast@gmail.com
Or you can tweet us at EuphoriaCast.
or at Isobel Chilman or at Roland Bodnam.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do love getting a little personal tweet as well. Isobel, before we move on to the story, which I'm very excited about, sitting back, relaxing and listening to, we do have a bit of podcast news, don't we? Something happened to us in the last 2 weeks that got us very excited. And if you follow us on Twitter...
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah, you absolutely would have noticed because we made sure that everyone anywhere knew this. But something very exciting popped into my email address from a iTunes chart analytics company, I suppose, that gave us the announcement that Europhoria podcast had broken into the top 100 iTunes comedy podcast chart in Iceland.
Yes, Iceland.
Yes, Iceland. We peaked at number 64 in the Iceland comedy podcast charts.
Hell yeah, we did. They didn't email us when we were 64th. They did email us when we were 86th, which is the number we've now decided is the official line to go with.
Yes,
we
absolutely.
were at one point the 86th most popular comedy podcast in Iceland.
Yeah.
This
I
deserves
know.
some sort of fanfare music behind it.
It really does. If you'd have told me when we started this podcast that we'd be 86th most popular comedy podcast in Iceland, I don't think I'd have believed you.
It's a big day for us all, Roland. We're all
I'm
still very happy.
Very excited. It's
Very
gone right on my
excited.
CV, right on my resume. That's one of my key
Oh
selling
yeah,
points now.
it's on my Twitter bio now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But thank you, Iceland. So, basically this comes down to obviously listeners and downloads, but a big part of this is rating and reviewing and subscribing on iTunes. And so we will, using this, as you know, we're terrible at marketing and terrible at doing all this stuff, but we're going to try and do a big push for all, because we've got such a global audience. We're from all over the world. Wherever you're from, get yourself onto a computer, go to iTunes or on your phone, give us a 5-star rating, obviously, and just write a little something in to say, like 2 sentences to say how much you like the podcast, and then get a couple of your mates to do it. Get them to listen first, obviously, but then they get them to give us a little review, a little rating, and that really does us a lot of favours, mainly just because we can put it on our Twitter bio.
But it does mean also that people, if they are searching for comedy podcasts, if they're searching for music podcasts, if they're searching for Eurovision specifically, it means that it's more likely that we will appear in their search, we'll appear higher up in their search, which means that we will find a wider group of listeners. It is a huge benefit to us. You know, as I say regularly, we do not make any money out of this.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It is in fact a loss to us to continue doing the podcast, but we do it because we love it. So it's just it does obviously benefit us. It makes us feel a lot better, is knowing that we're not just talking into thin air.
And also, you know, absolutely. And you know what? It might, if we are.
And also, the main aim is to get to Eurovision one day.
Yeah.
So you're going to help us get to Eurovision and have accredited press passes with the world's most popular Eurovision podcast. That would be incredible. Imagine if we can interview Jon Ola. That's not just for us. Oh my God. We're not interviewing him for us. We're interviewing him for you all around the world, okay? Imagine that. You hearing Jon Ola's voice. Excited. Saying out loud, hi Chance from Brooklyn, hi Lynn, hi Zach. Like, we'll get him to say names.
We'll get him to do names.
The people who email us the most and give us the best reviews, this is bribery. We will get Jon Ola to say your name when we inevitably meet him.
So, you know, if you want it to be more content, more insight, more Jon Ola, then get those reviews coming in. Yes, all right, please. I think we've hammered that message out now.
Good. Yeah, we've really pushed it too far now.
Long intro today, but we had so many emails.
Real long. It's all right. My story itself is punchy. It's great fun.
I love a punchy story.
So we're going to start off with a bit of music, Roland.
Oh, lovely. That's a nice way.
Just press play and have a lovely little introduction to this week's story.
Fiumi di parole sono tutte uguali, ma qualcuna di loro delle piccole ali e con loro chissà magari voleremo. Perché Sanremo è Sanremo. No! All'improvviso viene voglia di cantare.
What was that, Isobel?
Perché a Sanremo. In the aftermath of World War II, one of the proposals to revitalise the Italian economy and the reputation of Sanremo was to create an annual music festival to be held in the city. It was named the Festival della Canzone Italiana di Sanremo, or, as English speakers will know it, the Sanremo Music Festival.
Yeah, are we learning about Sanremo today?
We are, mate. And that music that we kicked off with was the theme tune from the 1996 edition of the contest.
It was very 90s, wasn't it? They had a bit of hippity hop in there, a little bit of some like chanting, tribal chanting. It was all very,
I love it.
Very
Perché
90s.
a Sanremo. Great fun. Love a bit of Italian 90s rap.
Yes, absolutely. Peak of hip hop.
So the first edition of the show was held at the Sanremo Casino in 1951. 20 songs took part in the competition, performed by 3 artists only: Nila Pizza, Duo Fasano and Achille Togliani.
I love hearing you see one of the reasons why you chose this, I'm sure, is so that you can really put your Italian out there. I love it. It's great. I've not heard you do this before.
My boyfriend's in the same room and I just looked at him and he is highly unimpressed.
Hey, Isobel, it sounds
Danny,
great to me.
You can go sit in the kitchen if you're going to judge. You can go away.
Sounds great to me,
Nightmare,
Isobel.
isn't it? Jesus. I've got Patsy on one side, him on the other.
It's
a very
Danny
stressful podcast situation.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Starting from the third edition of the festival, held in 1953, each song was performed by 2 different artists with different orchestras and arrangements.
God, that's a lot of orchestra, isn't it?
That
They've got to
is a lot.
swap seats. I imagine that makes a real racket, getting up there, tripping over a drum.
Well, but the point of it was to illustrate the meaning of the festival as a composer's competition, not a singer's competition.
Okay, yeah.
Which is
so
definitely
it is
not the case anymore.
No.
Well, it might be still with Sanremo, but not for Eurovision. The festival is used as the way of choosing the Italian entry to the Eurovision Song Contest and has launched the careers of some of Italy's most successful singers, including Andrea Bocelli and Il Volo.
Oh, they are big names, aren't they?
Big names, mate.
Yeah. Wow.
Big names. But more importantly, however, the festival was in fact the inspiration for the Eurovision Song Contest itself, which started 3 years later in 1956. And it is in itself so popular among Italians that it's often referred to simply as Il Festival or the
I love
festival.
that.
It's
monolithic,
the
just like
festival.
yeah, the festival.
There's many
the
others,
only one.
but this is
this is the festival. Love it.
In 1964, the rules of the contest changed slightly. The 14th Sanremo Music Festival began a new tradition of requiring each song to be performed once by an Italian artist and once by an international singer who was allowed to perform the song in any language.
Wow. So they're like trying to compete with Eurovision effectively at that point.
All very odd. I don't really understand it. So this was a chance for many international artists to debut with hits in the Italian market. So less of a way to
encourage homegrown talent.
No, it was still encouraging homegrown talent for sure. There was loads of other rules that I'm not even going to go into to do with that. They used to split people off into into very famous artists in one competition to new artists in another competition to very, very junior, like absolutely have never sung in public, I think, artists in another. But so it was all very mixed up. But then they had this other area where they would get, this other rule for quite a while where they would get international artists to come in to try and make them big in Europe, which included, guests doing that included Louis Armstrong, Stevie Wonder, Marianne Faithfull, Shirley Bassey and Mungo Jerry.
Oh my God.
That's fun.
Mungo Jerry from
In the
Summertime. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So a way of showcasing global talent then in their own country.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Going back to your branching people off into super famous, not famous. I do like the idea of having one that is people have literally never sung in public before, and you put them on the Eurovision stage as a sort of sacrifice to pop.
Oh my God, yeah. Sacrifice the Eurovision gods.
Maybe that should be the Eurovision halftime show.
Oh, can we do that?
Now we have our sacrifice.
And
pop.
this is Julie and Margaret, who we literally plucked off the street 15 minutes ago. We've handed them the song, the lyrics. They have never heard it before.
Good luck to them.
Because we've stuck by the Eurovision rules, and this is not a well-known song.
Yeah, and they
go for it, Julie and Margaret.
And they do the full fireworks, the full flames and the graphics and everything, just all around Margaret and Julie slightly flinching every time they go off. I like that. That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm into it. Let's do it. Let's put that forward for you to decide next year.
Yes. Well, they pretty much fucking did with whatever those three women were called, didn't they? So not far
we've
off.
never actually performed in public together as a band.
Oh, great.
Sorry,
cool.
what?
So,
What?
Well, maybe come back next year after a bit of practice? Or, no, okay, cool.
No, you're ready now, obviously. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Anyway.
Okay. Between 1967 and 1971, entries were not forced to be interpreted by foreign artists, but double performances were kept until 1972, when, from that point onwards, entries were only sung by one artist.
Okay.
So
So
they've
one
had a bit
artist,
of a change around over the
one
time.
Song. Well, I mean, it's long enough. You got to be able to. You got
Gotta
to keep
zhuzh it
things
up.
fresh, haven't you?
Got to zhuzh it up, as with Eurovision, as with everything.
As with Eurovision.
So the contest itself, as I mentioned, has had so many rule changes over the years, which it genuinely could be a whole podcast episode in itself.
Yeah.
And I almost wrote this just about the rule changes to see how long it would take you before you went, whoa, I'm sorry, let's go back. Where are we at again? You know when you did the Bucks Fizz episode?
Yeah.
And I lost all understanding of what was going on about halfway through. I was going to do something similar to you.
Yeah.
But thought, either this will be hilarious or this is going to be the dullest episode of all time.
We'll lose everyone.
So I've scrapped that.
Okay.
And actually, there's some other stories that I think we'll go into at some point. I think there's probably chance to do Sanremo Part 2, Part 3 in the future.
Oh,
But
I love
for
those
now,
returning episodes.
I've decided to go with the areas of Eurovision we love the most, Roland.
What's that? Is that the controversies and the fuck-ups?
It's the scandals.
Yay! We love a scandal.
So obviously, I'm a big fan of the Italians.
Yeah, obviously.
But, they're rather dramatic.
Has Danny left the room at this point?
No, he's here and he's taken out his headphones now, annoyingly. So he is
no.
actively listening to everything I'm saying. He did have double headphones on for a little while to block me out, but that's not happening now. So there are a few big scandals I'm leaving out of this. So if you are Italian, if you know the history of the Sanremo Music Festival and you think, oh, she's left out something huge, absolutely email me to let me know. But probably I do know it. I'm just going to save it.
Yeah,
because there's two stories specifically when I was researching this that are standalone episodes.
Ooh, oh, that's so good. It's nice to know that we've got some in the bank.
Oh,
for the
for
future.
for sure,
Good.
yeah. But I've got a good selection for you, Roland. Quoting an article from the website La Mia Ligure, Sanremo is not just a song festival. It is a pop and culture phenomenon. Music, scandals and gossip have always alternated in the history of the festival. These are not just songs. The artist's private life often ends up on stage.
Wow.
And these scandals go all the way back as far as 1958, when songwriter Domenico Modugno punched singer Johnny Dorelli to convince him to take the stage. He was right to do so because I think do you recognise the name Johnny Dorelli, Roland? You should know his name because Dorelli and Modugno won that year's contest with the now international hit Volare.
Oh yeah, we spoke about him. Sorry,
we spoke
we
about
did a whole
him.
episode.
Yeah. Almost didn't go up and sing it.
I think it's because that's such an Italian. Well, is that all right to say? Such an Italian way of dealing with something. Yeah. I think it's because I probably pronounced him like Johnny Medano or something like that because I'm terribly English and not very good at speaking other languages. But yeah, I do remember him. He's a good guy.
Good guy.
Good guy.
Real
Yeah.
good guy.
So he on the Sanremo night itself, he was just hanging out at the side of the stage. Do we know why he wouldn't go on stage?
No, I haven't been able to find out that much. Johnny was singing it. He didn't want to go on stage. Domenico had written it. He wanted him to go on stage, so he punched him.
It's one way of convincing someone to do it. And I imagine he just went,
It
oh, all right then. Oh, all right, I'll go on.
Moving on, in 1966, presenter and actress Carla Puccini pretended to faint on stage to gain popularity and media coverage.
That's an interesting way of doing it because she must have had to go through quite a lot of the song before she fainted.
No, not a singer. This was one of the presenters.
Oh, God.
So, two actresses were presenting alongside a male TV presenter who was hosting it properly that year. And they always basically have these two. They have one or two very beautiful women. It's Italy, obviously.
Sure.
And one of them, to gain a bit of media coverage, fainted on stage. But the guy, one of the person that was running the contest that year, was not very happy about it and moved the camera to stop it. But obviously it was front page of every paper in Italy. She gained huge notoriety.
That is the best way to deal with, let's say, an actor when they're craving attention. Is just turn the camera away. Just turn the camera away. They'll tire themselves out eventually.
They'll stop it at some point. Awful group of humans, aren't they?
Jesus. Some of them are fine, I'm sure, but
no,
a lot of them.
No.
I've got actor friends. My friends are nice.
They're
but,
awful as well. We won't name them. We saw two world famous actors out on your birthday night out. Snogging everyone.
They were.
One of them won a Golden Globe recently. That's how big they are.
Yeah.
And he was snogging everyone.
And he was very out of it. They were both very out of it.
Oh, having a lovely time though, weren't they?
Spent a whole evening dancing next to them. We did, didn't we?
Lovely, real lovely time. But my God,
He
if
was.
they didn't have like dirty throats at the end of that night. Do you know what I mean?
Dirty
Sore throats from
throats.
snogging that many people.
Dirty throats, Isabel. That's horrible.
Dirty-
But yeah, they probably did.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
Lovely.
Mystery.
In 1978, Rino Gaetano caused outrage with his performance of Gianna, as it was the first time the word sex was used on stage at Sanremo.
Oh my god.
Shocker.
Speaking of dirty throats, he needs to clean his mouth out. Wow.
How exciting. How
I'm
times have changed.
I know. Sweden's like effing and blinding now, all over the place.
Oh, they're dirty. They're dirty
They are.
boys and girls in Sweden, aren't they?
Yeah, so in all the words.
Raised with
Sanremo.
filthy mouths.
It's very sweet of Sanremo to be shocked. at
Oh,
the
I'm very
word
surprised at the word sex.
sex. Very
Very
sweet.
exciting. In 1987, whilst performing as a guest artist, band Eighth Wonders lead singer Patsy Kensit had a fashion faux pas when a strap on her dress broke and a boob popped out live on TV.
Wait, Patsy Kensit?
Patsy Kensit.
Isn't she from EastEnders?
Yeah. No, that's the other one.
But who's Patsy
Kensit used to be married to one of the Gallaghers.
Oh. And she was on Sanremo.
She was in a pop band called
And her
Eighth
boob fell out.
Wonders, and her boob fell out, yeah.
Wow, do you think that was like the woman fainting? Do you think she thought a little bit of press coverage? I'll pop out a boob.
To be honest, Roland, as a woman, sometimes your boob just pops out.
I wouldn't know these things, see?
It's honestly a struggle. It really
yeah.
genuinely happens more often than you would hope it to.
Sometimes
You're living your normal life, you're doing your job. My boob's out.
Like Judy Finnegan.
It happened to Judy Finnegan. It happened to Patsy. It happened to
Patsy
Janet
Kensit.
Jackson. It happens to the best of us. Okay. In 1995, at Sanremo, one of Italy's most famous TV presenters, Pippo Baudo, was hosting the 45th edition of the festival.
Love it.
Which turned out to be the most viewed in history.
Wow. For what reason?
You're
Just
about to
'cause.
find out.
Okay.
Partway through the live televised event, a man with a diamond-shaped ski sweater appeared on the balcony right in front of the stage, threatening to jump.
What?
Yeah.
Live on TV?
Live on TV, it's all going to plan, and then the cameras go and cut to this guy who he's literally hanging off the balcony, saying that he's going to jump off.
Oh my God.
So his name was Pino Pagano. He was a 40-year-old man who said he was unemployed. And people in the hall at first thought it was a joke, didn't really understand what was going on, thought it was part of the show in some aspect.
Yeah,
but it's
some weird way.
Yeah, some really odd aspect of
misplaced joke.
Yeah, really odd joke that's going on. It's Italy, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what they're doing?
Yeah.
But it soon became clear this was a man threatening to end his life.
Oh my God.
At this point, the whole area descends into mayhem.
Why?
So you can watch a video of it. There's video on YouTube that you can see.
What?
So there's police, security, audience members, staff trying to work out what to do, crowding the balcony, pushing and shoving each other. It's an absolute disaster to watch.
Are they still broadcasting?
Still broadcasting?
Why didn't they cut away? Just put some adverts on or something. Just show
Italy.
a cartoon. Just like, it's drama. They love it. It's
it's very odd to watch. Yeah, it is absolute mayhem going on this balcony.
That is mayhem.
So Pippo Baudo, who was the host, initially tried to establish a dialogue with the man from the stage before actually climbing onto the balcony itself.
Wow.
Speaking into his ear, you can hear it on the microphone. He's saying, don't in Italian. He's saying don't do this. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. And the guy's saying, am I going to get arrested? He's like, no, it's fine. I'm going to look after you. And so Baudo climbs over the balcony, speaks to him for maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then pulls him to safety. The arena erupts into tears, applause. People are hugging, they're screaming, he saved this man's life. He saved this man's life. It's insane.
Yeah.
In the following days, however, it was rumoured that this was in fact a publicity stunt
No.
orchestrated by Baudo and the festival's broadcaster Radio Televisione Italiana, or Rai, as it's known.
Yeah.
Both groups denied everything, but a number of years later, the so-called suicidal man, Pino Bagano, admitted that Rai staged the event without Baudo's knowledge. So he said that Baudo didn't know about this. And in a letter, he said, "Pippo, forgive me. I was badly advised. I very much regret the stupid thing I did, only to earn money and extra advertising for the TV company, for the broadcasters. Now I see what we did in another light, and I feel other emotions about it."
Oh my God, what a conspiracy theory. A true one.
Yes,
one of those
right?
true conspiracies. That's amazing.
I haven't really understood, from the little that I've been able to Google Translate about it, whether or not Baudo definitely didn't know, or whether this guy Pino is just trying to cover for him slightly. But for sure, it wasn't real. And when you watch it, when I first watched it, you do think, this is a bit weird. Why is it this is so weird. What's happening? Why is no one cutting away? Why is no one helping him? Why are they waiting for the TV presenter to shove through 100 people to get there? And why... Is it so easy for the TV presenter to stop him from killing himself? At which point the guy turns around and waves at the cameras and waves at everyone.
He's turned his mood round, hasn't he?
Very odd.
Oh yeah, hey everyone.
Hi,
hey.
Yes, I'm fine. It is very odd to watch.
Mic'd up, just like he's got his own microphone that he pulls out his pocket and starts singing. Great intro to a song, isn't it?
That would be great.
Wow, that's brilliant. I love that.
Great.
Yeah.
And next we're going to head to 2001.
Okay.
And as mentioned, the festival had hosted a number of international musical guests, which during the 2001 contest included, now get these names.
Yeah.
Ronan Keating.
Oh.
Eminem.
Oh.
Anastasia.
Oh my God.
Ricky Martin.
Wow.
And Russell Crowe's band, 30 Odd Foot of Grunt.
God. Well, the others were great. I don't know so much about Russell Crowe after seeing his Les Miserables singing performance, but...
it was 2001.
Yeah, that's true. Who knew that Eminem and Ronan Keating had shared a stage before?
Oh, yeah, mate. In 2001, alongside that iconic list of artists, the contest also... somewhat mistakenly, in my opinion, invited the mind-numbingly dull alternative rock group Placebo.
I know from previous conversations that you are not a fan of Placebo.
Not a Placebo fan. I've seen them once at Leeds Fest. All their songs make me want to just bash myself in the head until I no longer breathe life.
In my misspent youth, when I used to paint my fingernails black, I had a few Placebo songs burnt onto CDs and listened to them from time to time. But I can't say I was a Placebo fan. There were a couple.
Needs a friend, ding. Friend with me. Awful.
Wow.
I never understood at the time why they were popular. I don't understand now why they were popular.
No.
Really genuine, actual visceral hatred for them as a group.
All right, well, but they were in San Remo. Is this the same year as Ronan Keating or another
Same year as Ronan Keating and Anastasia.
God.
Yeah. So, 2001, San Remo Music Festival, Placebo.
Okay.
Setting the stage.
Okay.
According to reports, prior to the performance, prior to attending San Remo, the lead singer of the band, Brian Molko, had consulted with... Now, how late 90s, early noughties can a sentence get right now? Okay. Placebo lead singer Brian Molko had consulted with Skunk Anansie lead singer Skin.
Oh, I forgot about Skunk Anansie.
Love Skunk Anansie.
Yeah.
Big
I'm into
Skunk
that.
Anansie fan.
Yeah.
Skin.
Consulted with. What does consulted with mean? What does that look like?
Sat down, had a chat.
Had a chat over a fag and a beer.
So Molko from Placebo had consulted with Skunk Anansie Skin. who had explained to him the type of audience at Sanremo and what the event initially represents.
How does Skunk and Nancy know about it?
Clearly, she'd done it before.
Okay, all right. It's very
Brian,
unusual.
however, clearly didn't take Skin's advice on board.
Oh, Brian. Brian, listen next time.
Do you want to see what happened, Roland?
Yes, I do. I really want to see what happened.
For those of you listening in, if you'd like to join along, Google Placebo Special K Sanremo and then watch from about 4 minutes in. You can watch the whole thing. I wouldn't, because you'd actually have to listen to a Placebo song, which is awful. But if you want to just watch the fun bit, 4 minutes onwards, that's where to go from. So, you ready to click play?
Yes.
Go for it.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. I love that. Isobel, please tell our listeners what just happened there.
Okay, so just to explain, Placebo frontman Brian Molko, as the song ends, smashes his guitar against an amp and then, reacting to jeers from the audience, faces them, actively encourages the jeering for a good 30 seconds or so. Then, don't know if you can see it properly on the video because they do cut away, gives them the middle finger, does a bow and then leaves. So as you can hear on the, maybe, or it depends if you can hear it properly on the audio of the video, the audience were livid by what was going on. There was a lot of whistling you could hear. That's not a good thing.
No.
So this is the Italians showing that they very much disapprove of what's happening. Very much disapprove of it.
Yeah.
They were also shouting cretin.
Okay. Cretin,
deficiente and scemo, which means stupid, like they're calling him stupid. And buffone.
Buffoon, I can get that.
You guess that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you can hear chants of pezzo di merda, which means piece of shit.
Whoa!
The whole crowd is
So
just
they
chanting.
Did not
pezzo di merda.
appreciate it. It was disrespectful to music, I think, smashing up an instrument like that. Disrespectful.
So
Wow.
disrespectful. Sometime after the event, it's kind of linking into what you just said, Roland, about the audience, like the difference between you see Placebo playing and then cut to the audience that were there. Molko actually said, when asked why he did what he did, he said, it seemed like the best reaction at that time. We were angry because nobody told us what the festival was like.
Well, that's not true. They
Skunk
consulted
and
with
Nancy's
Skunk
skin
and
might
Nancy,
have done. That's
yeah.
what I've read anyway. Molko says, we felt like we were in the middle of a charade. No one cared about us at all. When our time came, all these fat old men in suits were in the stalls with their women in evening dresses.
What?
Something clicked in my head and a primordial reaction started. Fuck all this shit, I said to myself. I shouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
The only thing that sticks in my memory was the people who shouted at me from the hall, piece of shit.
Yeah, well, they should have done. It's not like if you agree to perform at a thing, it's kind of your responsibility to learn what the thing is that you're performing at, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you're going to be annoyed at your PR people. Be annoyed at your management who didn't tell you what you're performing at. You can't be mad at the fat old men in suits and the women in evening dresses because they've gone to a lovely evening of music.
Yeah, don't be mad at them. Oh, that's such
They didn't lure you in.
No. It's such a... Yeah, like, they were all dressed as, like, grungy teenagers outside, and then as soon as they walk in, they pull off their long wigs, change into suits, and they're like, tricked you into playing here.
Honestly, it just makes me hate them even more.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, dear. Brian.
How boring. So that was Placebo.
Okay.
And then finally, just a little snippet to end off our scandals.
Yes.
Scandalo. So to end our Scandalo Italiano.
Love it.
We're going to end with 2009, in which footballer icon Diego Maradona was invited to attend the contest as a celebrity guest. but received a rather frosty reception from the Guardia di Finanza. So this is the Italian financial police. Apparently we don't really have an equivalent here.
Well, I know why.
Who, once he stepped foot in the country, raided a weight loss clinic in northern Italy in which he had checked into, seized 3 diamond earrings he was wearing worth £3,600 as part of their efforts to recover £28 million in unpaid taxes.
Oh my God. So was that a trap, do you think, inviting him to Sanremo?
I hadn't even thought of that, Danny. Italian correspondent. Roland's just asked, do you think that was maybe a trap set by the Italians to invite him to Sanremo to then get that money out of him?
He was getting money out of it. He was getting paid. Every guest.
For Sanremo?
Yeah, every guest.
Oh, he was. Danny says he was getting paid for the Sanremo thing.
Okay, so that was legitimate.
But do you think that do you think that was still a sly? That could have been a sly way
To
of
get him
going,
in the
we'll
country.
pay you to come to Sanremo, and he goes, great, I need money because they keep nicking my earrings, and then he went, and then they were like, gotcha. No.
No? Okay, no.
No.
That's
no.
my conspiracy theory out the window.
Done.
But
We've had an
to be
actual
honest,
Italian say no.
£3,000 earrings isn't adding up to much of the 3 million or whatever it was in taxes.
28 million, mate.
28 million. That's a very small percentage. I feel that's a bit petty,
not.
really.
Just going to chip away. Just keep nicking his jewellery every time you see
Keep
him.
inviting him to Sanremo every year and then get him an earring.
Yeah, well, Danny's just said he'll have been paid more than £3,600 to go to Sanremo.
It's a net loss.
It is.
It's a net loss. Someone's not worked that out there. Oh well.
Oh dear. That's part one. That's Sanremo part one.
Oh
I'm
my
ending there.
God.
I'm ending
That's
there.
amazing. So many controversies.
Just a few Scandalo Italiano.
Yeah. You could have
From
gone. You could
Sanremo.
have done a few full episodes just from that. So I'm very excited to hear the full-length ones coming
Oh
in the
yeah,
future.
there's 2, if not 3, that are going to. In fact, I might even just do them in a row. I might for my next one just carry on with Sanremo for a while.
But I love that. Thank you for your compilation of it, Scandalo Italiano.
Scandalo Italiano, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, loved it. So normally, Roland, we would now
Yes.
head on to your song.
Yeah, we would.
But-
we would.
But we've got one more email, mate.
Oh!
Saved it, didn't I?
You'd saved a little secret email.
Secret email for the end of the episode.
Wow.
So, this email says, Hi, Roland and Isobel. I've been back listening to the podcast over the duration of the past week.
Okay.
Thus far, I'm just at the start of episode 17 with special guest Exanthony.
Ah, that was nice,
Love
wasn't it?
Exanthony.
All round your kitchen table.
I felt compelled to email due to Isabel's constant plea at the time for correspondence.
Still
Although I
playing.
fear many of my references are 2 Eurovision seasons old. Although I
Fine.
have listened to the most recent 2 episodes of the podcast.
Okay, so you've done a
Fine.
sandwich. You've done a podcast sandwich. This is a big
Sensible
empty bit
things
in the
to do.
middle. Yeah.
Our emailer says, I have several questions which I will inevitably find out the answers to, but
Sure.
I'll ask them anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Questions
We're-
are,
Okay.
I'm just going to go through them.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever send a song? How many 12s has Roland got? Do the songs get any better? Can the songs get any worse? Will there continue to be a disproportionate number of songs about Iceland? Did Isobel ever do a song about Jedward?
Wow. A song or a
So-
story? Story.
To answer those questions in
Okay.
order,
Okay. Wait, are you answering them? Because I feel like I need to
I'm
take
answering
this.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take issue with a couple of these questions here, but go ahead.
okay. So to answer them in order,
Okay.
yes, someone did send a song. We've only had one. This is going to be number 2. I don't know if Roland has had any 12s. Have you had one 12?
No.
Yes, the songs can get better and do get better.
Yes.
But yes, the songs can also get worse.
And do
Not
get worse.
sure if where you're at right now, you have heard Festival Fun Fun yet.
I think he might have done. I think it was like around 10. Yeah.
I mean, there's some that linger around that level of shitness.
Well, there's even worse than that, as we spoke about last week. There
Yeah,
are
there is
some
even
that
worse
I
than that.
wish were deleted from the history of the internet. But as we know, you can't delete things from the internet these days. They hang
Nuh-uh.
around. Anyway.
No, there is not a disproportionate number of stories about Iceland, but as you now know, if you listen to this week's episode, we are now very popular in Iceland, so actually this may become an Icelandic Eurovision podcast instead.
You got to keep the fans happy.
We haven't discussed that yet, but it might happen.
It might happen. There's plenty of stories there.
And no, we have not yet done a story about Jedward.
No, we haven't.
But back to the email.
Yes.
Our emailer says, I've attached a song in case the answer to the first question was no. Did anyone ever send a song?
Well, even if it is yes, it's fine. We
want more songs.
Yeah,
we
always
want more songs. Send us your stuff.
Wow.
Great. Inspired in part by the minimalist pop of Slovenia this year and it's about to get heavy, the domestic abuse subject matter of Serbia 2016.
Okay.
As I recently rewatched that year's contest, yours sincerely, Ashwin from Oxford in the continent of Europe.
So we have a song, Isobel. We've got a song.
We have.
Oh my God. Week off for me. Easy. I'll sit back. I'll save my song for next time.
Yeah, you got to save that, mate.
Excellent.
So we're now going to have a listen to. Ashwin, have you given us a name for this? Oh, it's called High Five.
High Five from Ashwin.
High Five from Ashwin from Oxford in the continent of Europe.
Is this what it's meant to be? You and me. Is this what it's like to feel happy? 'Cause I don't feel happy. You show me gratitude, not love. You show up to show me up, to show me up to all of my friends. Make me look like the bitch again. I can't figure you out, even though you bring me down. You keep me hanging around. You give me high fives, you leave me hanging, then you give me high fives, you leave me hanging, then you give me high fives. I can't figure you out, even though you bring me down. You keep me hanging around. You give me high fives, you leave me hanging, then you give me high fives, you leave me hanging, then you give me high fives. You leave me stranded and just give me high fives. You leave me damaged and you just get high fives. And I can do with the sound of a high five. And I need something more than high fives. And I've been searching for handouts and high fives. And I thought love was a series of momentary high fives. I can't fake you out, even though you bring me down. You keep me hanging around. You give me high fives, you keep me hanging, then you give me high fives, you leave me hanging, then you give me high fives. High fives. High fives. High five.
So that was Ashwin from Oxford
Ashwin.
with Ashwin's song High Five.
Wow. So let's start with, we love anyone who sends us a song. Like we
oh my
are
God, anyone. And didn't I say, Ashwin, if you've been listening properly,
Yeah.
I've said, well, I did initially say
You
that the
said
first person to send us a song would get these
yeah.
points.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to continue that. We'll go through the critique first before I give it a score.
Yeah, absolutely. Geez, it's a tricky thing to write a song about, isn't it? We're talking minimalist pop domestic abuse theme, which is
it's a tough mix.
It's a tough mix to do. We know that my pop songs generally revolve around probably three things. sexy stuff, dancing, or
Robots.
robots, or maybe 4 robots and peace around the world. So to broach a subject that has a little bit more gravity than those 4 subjects is something to be celebrated for sure.
I know the lyrics already.
High
I've
five.
only listened to it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Give me high five.
It's catchy.
That's stuck. It's catchy. Catchy AF, Ashwin.
Yeah. We appreciate that. Thank you for sending it in. And it means I get an extra 2 weeks to work on my song for next time as well. So everyone's a winner.
Dues points.
Yay!
You've achieved what Romans never will.
I know. Thank you, Ashwin, for sending it in. And like we do,
God, love it.
we absolutely will still.
And so early on, like Ashwin, what did Ashwin say? Ashwin's on episode 17.
Yeah.
17.
And he binged it in 2 weeks.
And without knowing what happens in the future of the Eurovision podcast, the Eurovision podcast,
aspirational.
It's like with the festival, Il Festival, Il Eurovision podcast. But without knowing what happened between episode 17 and now, bloody Ashwin went, you know what, I'm going to make a song and I'm going to send it to them. They might, in 20 episodes' time, have gone, guys, stop sending us all your shit songs. I fucking hate this. We don't want to listen to anything. We hate Eurovision.
Songs.
We might have become really mean and horrible. No. Good on you, Ashwin.
Thank
Love
you,
the
Ashwin.
confidence. Love the support.
Thank you. All right. That's it.
That's it. We're done. That's the end of the episode, mate.
Yeah, we're going to be back in 2 weeks again. We'll just do 2 weeks from now. So we'll be on that schedule.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. As mentioned, you can contact us. You can email us. You can send us a song or just a lovely email or a video to something weird and wonderful that you want us to watch and talk about, as other people have done this episode.
Yeah.
So emailing us is europhoriapodcast@gmail.com, or
you can tweet us at EurophoriaCast or our personal tweets, pages. Sorry, I'm burping at the same time. I'm panicking. Or our personal Twitter accounts at Isobel Chilman or at Roland Bodnam.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember to rate. What did they say on proper podcasts?
Rate, review, and subscribe.
Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or whatever platform you are listening via. It would be very good and helpful to us.
Yeah,
we love you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Iceland, for being such a lovely listeners of ours. And we'll see you on in 2 weeks.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.